Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have for you a game from our epic Escalation weekend, which I was pimping all over my channel. I was harassing my viewers to come and participate, and this game is going to show you why you should have come and participated, because this was an epic match. This is one of the matches from our TA Escalation gaming weekend, and what a match it was. Pretty much all of these players, or at least several of them, were new players to Escalation, or new players at least to the TA Forever client. So guys, this could be you. This could be you playing with us right now. A lot of these players you see in this game haven't probably played for years or decades, but they jumped in and we had a freaking epic match. It was so much fun. Guys, we're going to be trying to do this every weekend. More announcements coming on my channel, but I would love for more people to come join our community, play in some of these games, and have fun with us, because this was awesome. And I'm excited to show you this 3v3 on a map called Warfront. But before I get a little too much further, let me go ahead and introduce the players. In blue, of course, there is me, Wing Flyer. Oh, yes. Yes, hold the applause. Yes, thank you. Here in green, we have Mr., and forgive me if I mispronounce this, it's Ronaz Nonakreen. We're just going to call him Ronaz, or green. In purple, we have Captain OCD, and that will make our team. Let's see. I started K-Bots. Mr. Ronaz started vehicles, and Captain OCD starts K-Bots. Here in red, the infamous Mr. Abdul Rahman, the Rager, the entertainer, as I like to call him. He is certainly entertaining, if nothing else. He will be starting vehicle first. In pink, Butterfly of Truth. This is actually Ronaz's brother, so these two are brothers. It is a sibling rivalry, as we shall see, and he will be starting vehicle as well. And finally, in orange, we have CJM in 12. Sorry. Anyway, we're just going to call him CJ, and he's orange, and he has gone KBot first. So we have introduced everybody. Guys, let's jump into this epic match. I think you're all really going to enjoy what we have in store. Now, the nature of this map, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a long horizontal stretch, but it does create for some really interesting back and forth combat situations. One team can break through early on and simply win the game, but also sometimes it can reach a stalemate, because you can create sort of a choke point. Makes it hard to break through. So I have lost very quickly on this map, and I have also played games that go the distance. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this game. Now here at the top, it's interesting because there's a bit of water, and that creates some interesting gameplay dynamics as well. As you will see in this match, the water definitely plays a huge role in the outcome. And there's metal in the water as well. There's sort of a canyon area up here, or a plateau that can't be reached except by air. So these are important too to take. But here in the middle, we're going to see our first engagement of the game. As you can see, I've moved up towards the middle. It is pretty important to hold the middle on this map, because there's a lot of nice metal. 6 metal spots to claim for both teams, which will give you a nice economic boost if you can hold it. So again, I like the way this map is designed. It's designed for a lot of confrontations and back and forth combat. And whichever team can hold the middle certainly can have an advantage. But it does lend itself to a lot of skirmishes, and I think we're going to, I think you guys are going to enjoy this. So I've thrown up a light laser tower here, and am building a second KBot lab at the front. So you might ask me, why did I go K-bots first? I normally would go vehicles first, but there was some reclaimable rocks, and so I built a flea and went ahead and reclaimed. It's right here. Here's my little flea. I built that and went ahead and reclaimed everything all over the place. So that's why I went K-bots first. But generally I think vehicles would be better just because I can get to they can move to the front a little more quickly, and that's pretty important on a map like this where you want to have as many forces at the front as you can. However, K-bots make a lot of sense up here because you don't need to go that far, and the warrior is very, very strong at these it's a very good unit in these close range tanking situations. So as you can see, both teams posturing here, moving their forces forward. We'll speed it up a little bit as the game is about to enter the combat phase. My commander is moving into the water to take these metal spots underwater. So just boost my income a little bit. And here we have our first combat of the game. It's 3 javelins now in the fight. Purple moving his units down as well. And red in some instigators. He will get by us here. So there is combat happening all over the place in the middle. Nice explosions. And these instigators will make it past. We've held the north, but red is going to get some economic dunge. However, green brings his commander down here, and if he can get some good D-guns and not die, that's a nice D-gun. It takes out 4. See how much health his commander has. His commander's got plenty of health, and with this javelin, he will clean that up in time. So, very well done by green. That could have been quite disastrous if red was able to get his instigators back here and take out some of the eco or production. So nice job there, preventing what could have been potential disaster. But one thing that's interesting to note here in this game that does play a big part is that orange has gone into hovercrafts and is actually rushing a quick advanced hovercraft, a T2 hovercraft. So orange's plan is to use the water here to sneak some units past and maybe get into our backline and destroy our starting bases. So Abdul telling orange not to show his hover. He doesn't want him to ruin the surprise. And it is quite a surprise. I've built a couple energy storages up here, and I sort of regret it because it turns out to really bite me. I should have built them lower, somewhere that wasn't accessible by sea, because these are very vulnerable. Not a great place to build my energy storages. Red is the first player to have gone into air here. That will be good to take the backline metal spots. But as you can see, my composition in this part of the game is warriors and Rockos. Warriors for the tanky front line to absorb the damage, and the Rockos, of course, for long-range direct fire support. And it is a very powerful combination. As you can see, green bringing some javelins in to help me. And this will reveal the hovercraft, so we now know about this. This is a pretty nice push here. But red bringing his commander into the fray. And with that D-gun, that is going to sort of stop this push in its tracks. Try to get a little bit of harassment done on red's commander, but not enough to kill him, unfortunately. Trying to stay out of the range of the D-gun as best as I can. Seeing if I can get some damage done on his commander, but unfortunately not really too much in danger. I'm now using my commander to take the remaining metal spots in the water. Green has tech to T2 very quickly, so he's already upgrading his economy. And some skirmishes continuing to happen in the middle as both teams are fighting for this very important medal. And Pink has finished a Punisher here, and we simply cannot let that stay alive because this Punisher will be able to control the middle. We don't want to let the Western team have control of this area, and so we will move in on this Punisher. It has a lot of health, and these Dragon's Teeth are certainly assisting and keeping it alive. But we do manage to take it out. So, yeah, no Punishers allowed in our game. And right now, for the moment, we do have control of the middle, but it is still very back and forth, very close, as Red now already on T2 with the advanced aircraft plant. And, well, Pink also going into advanced air, it seems. So that is an interesting difference between our two teams. The Western team definitely focused on air much more. We haven't even built an aircraft plant at about 15 minutes into the game. But they already have 2 regular aircraft plants and are working on the second advanced aircraft plant. So that is kind of an important strategical difference between our two respective game plans. We're going for another push. However, Orange with this very, very sneaky hover attack, which, to be honest, I should have been more prepared for. I knew he had hovercraft. Probably should have built heavy laser towers somewhere up there. But we are attempting to push the front, doing some good damage here, taking out the light laser towers, targeting the aircraft plant. However, these hovercrafts now making their way, and I'm sending my commander up here to try to stop this before it becomes a horrible situation. As I said, those energy storages die almost immediately. That was a failure on my part. I get one D-gun, but these hovercrafts are just too fast, and they make it into my main base here. This attack is forced back, and so they have destroyed my energy storages, they've destroyed my advanced K-bots, now they have destroyed my K-bot lab. Now this is important too, because my commander in the middle of all this skirmish is very low, he's already at half health, and Red bringing some rapiers in, trying to finish me off. Now if I die here, the game is over. It'll be 2v3, and I think my team would probably just crumble. So I immediately send my commander into the water to save his life. This is the only way I can keep him alive, is sending him into the water. But even though my commander barely survives, they have already inflicted so much damage. They've taken out both my labs, they took out my energy storage, most of my units are dead. I am in a tough situation, to be sure. It is not the greatest day to be a wing flyer. I don't think it's my proudest moment here. Losing all of that, I certainly could have been more prepared. I knew he had hovers, and I just was thinking about other things. I was attacking the front, and we did get some damage. We took out their aircraft plant, we took out some defenses. So it wasn't a total loss, but I am in a terrible spot right now. All I have left is just this one K-bot lab and whatever eco I have back at my base, whatever units I have, but I'm going to have to struggle to throw up whatever I can, immediately trying to get back to T2, use my metal, reclaim all this metal here to sort of boost my economy so that I can attempt to catch back up. But yeah, even the Western team even saying go the northern route. They are targeting me. They know that I am the weakest link, and they are going to try to kill me while they can. They were very, very close to being successful with my commander getting down to like maybe an eighth of my health. 1 or 2 more hits and I would have been a goner. Red sending some instigators, but these Roccos will defend it for now, and green with a push of Panthers and Jeffies to keep the Western team honest. However, Orange now on T2 hovers. He will build some hailstorms. And those have a very good range, very good at harassing the shorter ranged units in the game. So, for the moment, we are holding. For the moment, the game is still pretty even. As you can see, if you look at the eco here, of course I'm reclaiming, but I have the lowest economy in the game, only 18 metal per second, so economically I've been pretty devastated, and really relying on my team to try to protect me while I slowly rebuild. However, Orange does not want to let me rebuild. Green pushing down the bottom of the map. However, he will be forced back. And Orange at the top of the map with these hailstorms. And these outrange even the Roccos, which are pretty good range. But the hailstorms can even outrange those. And as you can see, they will tear them apart in short fashion. So, again, I'm in a lot of trouble as these Roccos are just not very effective. Red saying that he's going to come with rapiers again. Their game plan is to kill me. That is what Mr. Abdul told me. They are trying to target me here. I've built an aircraft plant. I'm going to start pumping out freedom fighters because I know that there's going to be more rapiers coming in. Now, Green's Panthers actually help quite a bit here. They've got some anti-air capability. And what I've done is begin building Zeus's. Zeus's have a decent range and enough health to tank these hailstorms for quite a while. So Zeus's are what I am using to try to push off these attacks by Orange. These rapiers will eventually die. There's some air defense here in the Panthers. So again, Northern team attempting to break through here and almost successful. But we are able to hold them off for now, at least. Push them back with some Zeus's and Panthers. Still a very close game, though. I've rebuilt my T2. I've built an aircraft plant again to try to get some fighters in the mix. They're building a Guardian here. Still on T2 air. Both red and pink. What's going on back here? Green has started T3, but he's only got one constructor on it. So with just one constructor, that's going to take quite a long time to really reach the point of fruition. I still have this K-Bot lab, but I'm not really... There's, again... I think I'm just reclaiming it here. It's not useful anymore. Those hailstorms outrange everything in that K-Bot lab that I care about, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Take the metal back. We're doing a little bit of a push here. Zeus is moving through. We've also got Instigators, Panthers, some Roccos, MAKs. So we are doing a bit of a counter push here. Around the 25-minute mark. Abdul Rahman doing his patented panic move. Worry that we're going to break through here. And we do have a nice force. Nice composition. There's a lot of defenses. And again, these hailstorms, very good at kiting. The hailstorms are fast. And they very maneuverable. So they're very good at kiting. And as you can see, they clean up that attack pretty quickly. So once again, we are thwarted. As Orange goes back into the sea and is going to try yet again to break through the north. It's certainly the least defended place. Again, these Roccos are just chewed up and spit out as if there's some sort of tobacco or bubble gum. Bringing the Zeus's back up here as well. The Zeuses are the only things keeping me in the game here. I have enough health to tank the hits. And they do a decent amount of damage at range. Just enough range. So, Mr. Abdul telling Orange to go as close to the top of the screen as he can. But fortunately, I think the Zeuses can just reach these. It would be a disaster if the Zeuses couldn't, because if these hailstorms could make it into our base, that would be very bad. So again, the game still very close. Neither side with a huge advantage. I'm slowly recovering from my blunder earlier in the game. Unfortunately, I can defend with the Zeuses, but I can't really attack with them because the hailstorms can kite them forever. So I'm just going to have to keep them here for defense, working on my second K-Bot lab. Green building an Annihilator here. And this is going to be very useful for defending us. Also a GAT gun, heavy laser tower. Okay, now this is important to see. They sent some scouts over just now, and they have marked my commander. So Red is now sending a bombing run once again to try to snipe me out of the game here. I do have some fighters now, but slow it down a little more. I see this coming, right? Because we have some vision and radar. So if I had not moved my commander, I would have died. A lot of players in this situation would not have been paying enough attention. Their gaze would have been somewhere else. Those 5 bombers would have killed my commander for sure if it stayed still. So you've got to be on the lookout, especially since they've already targeted my commander several times this game. I knew what they were going for. I moved him out of the way, sending a rapier into. But fortunately my commander gets out with just losing a sliver of health. So guys, pay attention when you're playing. Once again, Red saying in the chat, we have to kill Wing. If we kill Wing, we're good. They are targeting me. And Orange with a starting to get a nice army of hailstorms and a rebel as well. We're going for yet another counterattack here in the south. But that's a lot of hailstorms, and there's nice defense here. The Punisher, tons of raiders. So this will be pushed back. We're having trouble making any progress at all. And again, the hailstorms with the withering fire making any kind of forward progress feel nearly impossible. So again, Orange's use of hovercrafts this game was just absolutely fantastic. Very nice strategy that no one on our team really thought of. And these hovercrafts have just proven to be a thorn in our side as they can sort of hover in and out of battle with impunity, keeping all of our units at range, and of course they can take the northern route as well. As you can see, even these Zeuses are struggling with enough of the hovercraft. So Orange also microing this very well, keeping me on my toes. My teammates are coming to help. They see that this is going to be a huge problem. Green has been incredibly helpful this game. But Purple has 2. We will push this back for now, but he doesn't really lose anything. So this continues to be an impending threat that we struggle to deal with. And my Zeuses just cannot keep up with it. Every time I try to chase him, I just lose a bunch of Zeuses for nothing. As you can see, I've built an eraser. the radar jamming K-bot. Just so he can't target me with radar, I just want to be able to try to keep my Zeuses alive as much as I can. So what I'm building here to try to counter, especially what Orange is doing, is shooters. The shooters are a T2 ARM sniper K-bot. And I will be able to probably outrange the hailstorms, or at least have a similar range to the hailstorms. So I've got to build something to be able to deal with this constant pressure that Orange has been putting on me. Let's check the player bases here. Nothing too noteworthy on the west side. Orange pushing through the middle here. However, this Annihilator is there. It's not firing though. I'm not sure why this isn't opening. I don't know if he... There he goes. So the Annihilator fires. I didn't exactly see what it hit. Orange saying if he can get rid of the Zeuses, he can take top. So they're trying to kill my Zeuses. And what Red is doing, which is actually genius, is he's building a neutralizer, a T2 tactical nuke. So that will be in range of a lot of our base. However, this Annihilator, very well placed, and it's going to start sniping units with each shot. So again, Green's use of the Annihilator here, very well timed indeed. Now once again, sending my units forward. Orange with a nice job of kiting. These emulators also very well placed to prevent any kind of forward action. Emulator here as well. So again, we're struggling to attack, also struggling to defend. Green pushing forward, but there's just way too much defense here, and with all these vandals as well. And now Orange has found... He has found an opening, as most of my Zeuses are here. However, I do have some shooters now. These shooters will be effective at range against the hovercraft, sending what Zeuses I have in the back here. And we'll take those out. Slow it down. More rapiers coming in, targeting my aircraft plant. But again, these shooters keeping me in the game. We've got enough anti-air defense to stop this. Abdul telling his teammate to keep pressuring him. He's confident that they can break through. Again, this has just been a very back and forward game with both sides. The tide of battle sort of flowing back and forth, but neither team really, I think, too far ahead at this point. However, Green almost on T3, and we will attempt to counterattack yet again. But it is just difficult to move through with all of this defense that the Western team has. We are finding it very hard indeed to push. I send a huge wave of scouts into their base just to try to figure out what they are doing. Now, Abdul's tactical nuke is finished now. We don't have any anti-nukes either. So we will be pushing through, attempting to push through the middle. As an epic battle unfolds. Tons of defense here. We're throwing everything we have. but it still just doesn't feel like it's good enough. Again, these immolators, extremely well placed, roasting everything that I send forward, and green has a lot of bulldogs. But there's an ambusher here. There's a punisher here. There's an Orion. We do manage to get the immolator though, so that's something. But ultimately, the defenses of the Western team just too strong. Very difficult to push through. We will be forced to retreat yet again as this this game, standing on a razor's edge, continues to go back and forth, or it continues to be extremely close. Red pushing me back with well-timed rapiers. And of course, I bring my fighters in to try to break up this madness. Take out those rapiers. So guys, sometimes having some fighters on hand can be very, very helpful in just keeping your base protected and keeping your armies alive. The nice thing about fighters as opposed to conventional air defense is that they're much more mobile. You can move them around the map more quickly. Again, green is now on T3, and he is working on his first mantle extractor. What else? Still pumping out shooters and Zeuses. We've got some fighters. Orange now working on his T3, but he will be a little behind us. So the game does slow down as we've both attacked quite a bit. Both teams have attacked and been ultimately unable to break through. That was more scouts that I sent. We may attempt another attack, but again, it will be difficult with all of this defense. I am now also working on T3. So both teams are just kind of ecoing up at this moment. I think we've tried to attack quite fruitlessly for about 40 minutes now and been unable to really be successful. But hold that thought, because the first tactical nuke of the game, Abdul Rahman putting it right here and taking out so many of my Zeuses and shooters in one shot. So again, orgasmically screaming in chat, yes, yes, you know, it was a very well-placed tactical nuke. He takes out a lot of my Zeuses, and the ones that remain are quite damaged. He says in the chat, I killed shitloads, and indeed he did kill shitloads. We did not expect that. We didn't know that there was a tactical nuke. And Red telling his whole team to go through this hole that he has created. So that is where they will go. Once again, the game breaks open. The Zeuses I have left badly damaged. The south is more well defended than the north, but again, I have these shooters in the back pumping out those that range damage. Each shot so impactful and able to outrange the rebels and the hailstorms. So just have a construction bot here. He's ducking for cover, trying to wait out the madness. The south will hold. These 4 GATs that purple has built also keeping us in the game. So once again, the northern team will attack, but it will not be successful. We are able to just barely hold it off, hold them from breaking through the north, and probably winning the game. Green building an anti-nuke, which is a good idea because you never know when you're going to get hit by a nuke at this stage of the game. Of course, I've already been hit by a tactical nuke, losing half my army there. And more tactical nukes to come. Orange saying he's almost on T3. So I will say the Western team really was working well together. You can see in the chat they were on the same wavelength. They were combining their strategies. They were doing coordinated attacks. It's everything you could want from a team game where your teammates work with you to try to use some sort of overpowered team strategy to win the game. And I think both teams working really well together. My team and their team. Of course, their team has been chatting much more. Abdul in the chat saying that on this next attack, they're going to do it. They're going to break through. It's going to nuke my army. And then Orange is going to break through with hovercrafts. And that is the plan. Certainly they have come close already, my commander. Losing almost everything I had early on. Sending some more scouts. So as you can see, Red is sort of enjoying this. Having the time of his life. And again, we have been holding mid, but we haven't really been able to take advantage of the metal because they just shell it every time we try to take over the economy or take over the metal spots. Doesn't really seem to work out too well. So we have been holding mid, but unfortunately not gaining too much from it. I'm still working on my T3. Green with the mega economy here now with 5 mantle extractors working on his 6th. As you can see, Green by far the leader economically with 146 metal per second. So, yeah, Green definitely a beast here. He upgraded to T3 way before everyone else. And he has just had an endless supply of units to send forward throughout this game. Unfortunately, they keep getting killed, but he's also used them to defend us quite impressively throughout this game. So, once again, it is hard to say who's ahead. They still have the aerial control here, but Green, of course, with that economic lead, will slowly take over the game. And of course, I just reached T3 now at about the 46-minute mark. So again, given enough time, we will push our economic advantage, I think. And now attempting to take over the metal at the mid, and so the Western team acknowledging they need to end the game quickly. They have tried many, many times and been successful at breaking through, but not able to quite clinch it out. Sending some more scouts over. And now, once again, they are going to attempt yet another attack through the north. Red explaining in the chat that he is going to send a speculative nuke right here. This is where he's nuking. And he happened to be correct because that's where my units are. So here comes this tactical nuke. Once again, perfect, taking out a ton of my units. Abdul in the chat, yes, nuke landed. It was a very nice tactical nuke. Some marauders in the mix as well. However, these shooters have been worth their weight in gold. It has been the perfect counter here. Able to deal with everything that he has sent so far. But once again, we are able to hold off this attack just barely. And this Annihilator now racking up the kills. Let's see how many kills this thing has. 47 kills on this Annihilator. Every shot so devastating. This Annihilator, MVP of the game. Extremely effective, keeping us alive. And I have built the first Cerberus. So this is mostly for defense. I don't think I can break through with it, but the Cerberus is an extremely good defensive T3 mech. As they don't have the most range for a T3 unit. They have a ton of health. And they do great damage at a short to medium range. So this is, again, this is for defense. Our team does feel like if we can just hang on, we will be in the driver's seat building the second Cerberus. It's almost finished. But we don't have enough to break through, and Pink now working on an Intimidator. Sending some more scouts to try to see what's going on here. So once again, the game is still pretty close. If they can finish this LRPC quickly, might be able to do something. However, we have had the same idea all at once. Everyone on our team building a long-range plasma cannon, I think. Purple building one there. I'm building one. I'm also building a Nova, the walking long-range plasma cannon. And with this Cerberus, I'm not really trying to attack. I'm just trying to kill what I can, kill anything that moves too far forward, like this Raider. But I'm not trying to break through. I'm going to use my Bertha and my Nova. Try to win the game from afar. The Western team now working on T3 air and building some mantle extractors. My Bertha is getting close, and the Nova as well. Now, guys, one thing I want to explain, if I could do this again, I might have skipped T3 and just gone straight for Berthas. Maybe that would have been the better strategy. The Berthas could have easily won the game. I invested a ton going to T3. If I had invested that into Berthas instead, we might have been able to deal critical damage to their base. And I wouldn't have had to go T3. So this, I don't know, yeah. The problem is if I had built Berthas, they might have been able to kill them, like if Orange attacked. I am building this very far forward, but this Bertha is now complete. And so, again, I marked their Bertha. I'm aware that they're working on a Bertha, so that is going to be the prime target. For my long-range plasma cannon. We can't let their Bertha get into a situation where it kills our base. So I am targeting this thing. It has just now finished, but my Bertha is doing a good job now of hitting that. 2 shots have landed so far, and a 3rd shot will land. So I finished this just before theirs, and am able to destroy that just in time. I mean, if they had finished that just a minute earlier, it could have been a totally different game. So this is this Bertha. Again, if I had skipped T3 and just gone Berthas earlier, maybe that would have been better. I think maybe going to T3 was kind of a mistake. Of course, these Cerberus, definitely useful for defending me. So maybe it was still the right move, but if I could do this game again, I might actually just rush Berthas more quickly than what I did. However, this Nova is also complete now. And with the Nova and the Bertha both firing, the Western team is now in a lot of trouble as they are just getting shelled into oblivion here. All the beautiful explosions taking out everything in a huge radius. I'm targeting the tactical nuke now, as this has just been a huge problem for me. It will die. I'm taking out the jammer as well to give us radar coverage. So as you can see, the combination of the Bertha and the Nova, extremely effective. Purple almost done with his Bertha as well. Sending some more scouts over. But this is a tough situation to be in for the Western team, with these Berthas shelling them from afar. Red saying in the chat, we tried everything. And they did. They really did try everything. The teamwork of the Western team, very, very good, and almost broke through so many times. It was extremely back and forth match. Now targeting the Ultra K-Bot assembler, I think is purple. He's almost got it. It is barely alive. Trying to build a shield, but it won't get up in time. Yeah, there goes T3 for orange. And a green with a demolisher. 15 kills already. 60 kills on this Annihilator. Let's see how many kills on the Bertha. 17 kills on the Bertha. 15 kills on the Nova. And yeah, again, we all went for the Bertha at the same time. Guys, this isn't something we discussed in the chat. We were not on comms or anything. We just all had the same idea at the same time to build long-range plasma cannons. And now the Western team will attempt one last desperate hurrah. But with all these Cerberus and shooters, it will be difficult to break through. Green with some Centurions. Purple with Goliaths and Mortys. And with the long-range plasma cannons in the background, the Western team's fate is all but sealed. So guys, this was an epic game. It could have gone either way. I made some crucial mistakes. But nonetheless, my teammate was, or my teams was able to protect me. We were able to come back from what looked like an unwinnable situation or a dire situation. Orange telling everyone that it was a good game, and indeed it was a good game. Very, very close, very well played by both sides. And guys, this could be you. You can join RTA Gaming Nights. I've got more announcements coming. Go ahead and join our Discord. I will put it in the description below. We would love to see you. We would love to have you in our Escalation Gaming Army. And you too could be featured in some of my videos. Just like this. So, great job by everybody. Especially great job by Green. Mr. Ronaz. He was the economic juggernaut of that game. So, thank you everybody for watching. We had an awesome gaming weekend. It was so much fun, and we'd love to see you next weekend. I've got some more announcements. Be on the lookout for those and join our Discord. And thank you everybody for watching. I will see you in the next cast.